Questions for Coach Stevens? Start with John Corrales.
Hey, Brad, I've got two. One, the second half of the schedule came out today. I don't know if you had a chance to look at that yet. And you've got a immediate 5 games and 7 day stretch. Just your thoughts on how that second half of the schedule looks. And secondly, yesterday you played Kemba in the second and fourth quarters, kind of like in that Tatum spot that you normally do with the bench. What was that? Is that just a different look? Is that you trying to experiment? What's the thought there?
Yeah, a little bit more. It gives that gives you a little bit more flexibility of bringing Jalen and Jason in and out. So they're not as rigid necessarily in their rotations. It also allowed us to keep size on Luka when they kept him in longer, especially in the first half. Usually he's in 3 stints. He comes out at 6, he comes back in at 3, comes back in at 5 left in the half. And so that was the original plan. But then when Luka played the whole first quarter, I thought that gave us a good idea that we needed to be more flexible with our wings because of the size factor. And then, it's a good opportunity to get another creator in with that second group. It's a place where we've struggled at times to score. I think that our fourth quarters have been well documented. I think 2 areas that we sometimes struggle with is the start of the fourth and the idea that we foul at the beginning of the fourth. And so those are 2 things that, we spent a lot of time on thinking about in the last couple of days. Obviously, we came up short on the foul part yesterday in the fourth, but I have a better feel for, it gave us more flexibility with Jalen and Jason is the answer, is the quick and easy answer. The schedule I got like 3 days ago, John, and I've looked at it like once. I'm getting peppered with questions about travel and game times and all kinds of stuff. Like, I'm just trying to figure out how to guard Luka Doncic and Trae Young. Like, somebody else can figure all that crap out. We have a lot of work to do, and I assume we're just playing great players, and I assume we're basically playing every night. So I don't really even care.
Keith Smith.
Brad, when you go up against guys like Trae or Luka and the offense is so centric to them, can it be hard to keep your guys from focusing too much on those guys? And does it help playing them kind of this back-to-back and, especially with Trae 3 times in the span of a week?
First of all, one of the reasons why those other guys are able to soar with their strengths the way they are is because all the attention that Young and Doncic get. So you have to be very alert to what they do well. We did okay on some of Dallas's other guys. We didn't do well on a couple. Same thing in the first 2 Atlanta games. I think that Trae and Luka both have the advantage of it's a lot harder to plan for, to take the ball out of their hands because they start with the ball at 50 or 60 feet away from the basket. So you're not like running actions for them to cut and catch and shoot and all that stuff. They certainly do some of that, but they have the ball. And so, the whole name of the game, and we've talked a lot about this with our guys, is once you draw 2, right, you've done all the hard work. Well, they draw 2 almost immediately. And they're both very crafty and quick to get rid of it. And, I think people are, at the very least, overly alert to or sensitive to the fact that they draw fouls. And so, there's like this desire to be aggressive and into them. And at the same time, like this inhibition because you get whistled. And so you have to balance that appropriately.
Gary Washburn.
Hey, Brad, on a situation like not the last 3-pointer from Doncic, but the one where it was a switch between Tice and Jalen, would it be okay if Jalen kind of nudged Tice and said, no, I got this? Like, well, one of your best defenders says, I want to guard the best offensive player in the last possession, as opposed to kind of going with the switching. Would you have an issue with that? How does that go?
We watched it today. First of all, I think it's so important as a, growing leader to trust your team. And, and I think the only thing that maybe we could have done in that moment would be to just have both stay with him. But no, I mean, Jalen's going to get screened there, Gary. And so that's going to be a lot easier said than done to just say, I got him. Because when he gets screened and Tice is back, Luka just pulls up and shoots it, or Luka gets you in a little hesitate and go, and then you foul him. So I think it's more likely that would be two guys on the ball than one. Do we want guys to take challenges? Do we want guys to give their thoughts on taking the heck? Yeah. I mean, that's part of it. And at the same time, we don't want to open up other issues because of that, right? I think the great balance of pride and desire to shut down one thing oftentimes leads to issues elsewhere. But I think the only thing that we could have done different, and this is like totally nitpicking, I mean, we have so many other issues that are bigger than this, is maybe both guys just stay with him. But first and foremost, special play by Luka.
All right, we'll wrap it up right there. Thanks, Coach.